One of our followers is asking about the dollar. Rai Dalio is saying that the dollar will stumble about 30% in 2019. And what do I think about it? And what do I think about the euro? Well, let's start with the dollar. For the dollar to stumble 30%, we would need both the yuan not to continue to devalue and emerging market currencies to be defended by their central banks. None of those two things are likely to happen in an environment in which dollar-denominated debt maturities are rising and in which the Chinese government is aiming at solving part of its imbalances through the competitive devaluations, which are never competitive and always wrong, but anyway, a tool that governments like to use. Therefore, it might be difficult to see the dollar strengthening in an environment in which very few central banks are going to defend their currencies as dollar-denominated debt and growth slowdown become more evident. The euro tends to strengthen in times of crisis. We need to remember this. So the euro might strengthen relative to most of its trading currencies in an environment in which the slowdown of the eurozone becomes more evident. Why? Because the euro is fundamentally used among the eurozone countries, and when there is large levels of utilization because there's a strengthening of ties between those governments in an environment of weakening in which they become more proactive about defending the currency, then the currency tends to soar. We saw it in 2012 when every government was defending the union. As such, I don't look at the euro dollar as much as the dollar index relative to its predominantly its largest trading currencies, and I think that it's unlikely that throughout 2019 we will see a massive fall of the dollar. And the euro might continue to be at a decent level relative to most emerging market currencies precisely because of the nature of its utilization, which is basically a currency that only Europeans use.